Hello, seventh graders. I am here to read this week's reading for Home of the Brave. We are starting on page 200. We just learned a couple of things. We just learned that Dave talked to Diane, the woman from the Refugee Resettlement Center, and they have not found Keck's mom yet. And what else? Keck has recently quit the farm because Lou is going to be closing it down soon. And Keck also encouraged Hannah to write a letter to her mom. So, and then we learned more about the last time that Keck saw his mom. We learned that she fell down during the war and he had to leave her and run away. And that was the last time that he saw her. And as he ran away, he held on to a piece of her dress. And that's what he has held on to since he's been in America. So I'm going to finish the book today and probably read like the author's note at the end, maybe some other stuff if it's worth a while, stuff we haven't read. So this is 201. This is starting with confession. I awake to no blood, no bodies, no mama. I'm on the sofa, and Gonwar sits on the floor next to me. You were moaning, he says. It must have been a bad one. I wipe my wet cheeks. Very bad. I was in the camp, and the men with the guns came. Gonwar nods. He clicks on a light, and the shadows take form. I still have that one sometimes. Not like this one, I shiver. How can you be so sure? He asks. You can't visit my head. Because mine has truth in it, I say. Because in mine, I drop my head in my hands. Because in mine, I leave Mama and run. In mine, I'm a coward, and it's the truth. Gonmar stares past me for a long time. He is somewhere far away, and I don't know where it is. And I know where it is. We all ran, Keck. It's the only reason we're here. I should have stayed with her. Even a brave man can't stop a bullet. You did what you had to do. Gonmar joins me on the sofa. He puts an arm around me. He doesn't seem surprised when I begin to sob, and I'm not so surprised when he too begins to cry. Top of 204. Running away. I wait till Gonwar falls asleep. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in a place where my words taste wrong in my mouth. I don't want to live in a place where candy for a kind girl makes people angry, and every year the trees must die. I want to be in a place where the things I love and know are there within my reach. But where is that place? My aunt says I can find sun when the sky is dark, but she's wrong. I can't see what isn't there. I check the jar where I keep my pay from Lou. I have a handful of green papers and 4 silver washing machine coins. With such riches, I can run far away to places I've seen on the TV machine, although it will mean a lot of walking. Maybe I can go to Washington to the president's house and ask him to help find Mama. I know 2 buses, the bus to the grocery store and the mall, and the one to Lou's farm. I will take the bus that comes to the bus stop first, and then I will at least be on my way. I would like to leave a note so that my aunt and Gonwar and Hannah won't worry about me, but I don't know yet how to write many words. Gonwar snores softly. I leave half the green papers on the sofa. I write my name on a scrap of paper. I make a heart shape like the one I gave Hannah, and I get my jacket and I go. 206. This is bus. The evening air is cool and damp. I take the first bus that comes, the route that goes past Lou's. I put my coins in the hungry metal mouth beside the driver. The bus jerks and I grab a pole. How far does this bus go? I ask. To the airport, he says. The airport, I repeat, with the flying boats? The driver gives me a strange look. Sit down, kid. I think about this important news as I take a seat. For the first time, I wonder if I could go back home. I have my green money papers, after all. I could fly to my home and find my mother myself. That is what a good son would do. I think of the vastness of my country. I think of the camp, the guns, the blood. I wonder if flying back home would be like the last time I tried to fly from the top of the acacia tree. The bus is nearly empty. We pass many buildings and take many turns, and then we are on a big street I know well. In the soft light I see familiar places, the gas stations, the empty lots, the cars for sale, with bright lights on a string overhead, like captured stars. This is an ugly land, I think. It needs endless horizons and emptiness. Here, too many buildings block the sky. You can't even watch the sun put on his bright pajamas and sink into bed. We're coming close to Lou's. I feel bad not to have said my thank yous and goodbyes, and to have shouted at Lou in anger. In my old home, where death sneaks into your home in the hush of night, goodbyes were a precious thing. How can I miss a place of such pain, I wonder? It doesn't make sense, and yet there it is. What I miss is the time before the pain. I miss mamma and Luau and listening to my father sing a laughing song. In the moonlight I see first the old gray fence, with new boards on the gate Ganwar and I had fixed. I see Lou's house, the tree with its great brown arms outstretched, the sagging barn. I see Goal, too. She is in the field alone, staring out at the road. I touch the window, and then, I don't know why, I yell for the driver to stop. Treed. This is 210. By the time I'm over the fence, Goal has spotted me. She trudges over, slow but determined, like an old woman longing for her grandchild's embrace. When we reach each other, I put my head on her neck. You should be in the barn, I say. I peer over her to see if Lou is outside. The sky is rich with stars, like fresh black dirt sprinkled with tiny seeds. The moon hangs low, a cupped hand of silver water. Goal nudges me. I know this means she wants an ear scratch, so I do as I'm told. Tears warm my cheeks. A door slams. I see Lou heading to the barn. I crouch low beside Goal. I don't want Lou to see me crying. She will be coming to get Goal, and I must hide. The field is empty. There's nowhere to go but the big tree. I dash over and clamber up easily. It's a good climbing tree. High up in the tangle of branches, I watch the cars charge by like a herd of panicked animals. Gull looks up at me, wondering why her ear scratch is over. She heads slowly in the direction of the tree. I wipe my nose on my sleeve. No, I say softly. Go away, Gull. She settles in under the tree and stares up at me like a motherless puppy. I'm so high I should be able to see forever. In the starlight, I imagine that if I try hard enough, I can see my family's thatched hut, my father's sharp-horned cattle, the tree where I learned I'm not meant to be a bird. Go away, I whisper. I am going to be here for a long time. Top of 213. Ganwar. I have been in the tree forever when I hear a bus screech to a stop. Far across the field I can just make out a tall figure climbing toward climbing down the bus stairs. Ganwar leaps over the fence and strides across the field. He's heading toward the barn, but then he stops. He looks at Gull and he looks up into the branches of my tree and he laughs. Please don't tell me you're trying to fly again, he says. How did you find me here? I ask in a loud whisper. I woke up when you shut the door. I watched from the window when you got on the bus, and I took the next one. Why? I demand. Ganwar shrugs. Don't know exactly, but it was worth it, just to see you stuck up there. Using his good hand, in one graceful move he climbs up to join me. I don't want company, I say. He ignores me. So you're running away? I'm trying. Where to? Maybe I'm going home to find Mama. Ganwar nods. You think that's what she would want? It's what a man would do, I say. Ganwar rubs his chin. What if she's already on her way here? I rub my eyes. Suddenly I feel tired. If I lie back on this branch, I feel I could fall asleep for a week. I'm not used to making so many decisions. I'm not used to so many changes. In my old world, I was just Keck, the silly boy. I was Luau's little brother, Ganwar's troublesome cousin, my parents' mischievous child. That was all, and that was enough. I sigh. There are too many hard things, I say softly. I can barely hear my own words. It isn't fair. I want everything I lost. Ganwar rubs the place where his hand should be. I look away. I don't want to think about what he has lost. Maybe I'll come with you, Ganwar says. No, I say firmly, you stay. But it will never be right for me here, Keck. I have this. He holds up his stump of an arm. And I have the gar. It's worse for me. I'll never fit in. If you're giving up, why shouldn't I? I don't answer him, but when I look at Ganwar's arm, I think of how he leapt into the tree like it was his only home, and how he does all the work I do with just one good hand to help him. I remember something my mamma used to say on dark days: if you can talk, you can sing; if you can walk, you can dance. Ganwar, I whisper, what if she never comes? What if it's only me? I can't do it all by myself. Ganwar sends me a sad smile. My cousin, he says, you already are. Now we're on 218. This is talk. I hear the crunch of someone walking. Lou comes out of the barn. Goal, she calls. What are you up to, old girl? Slowly Lou makes her way over. She follows Goal's gaze up into the tree. My, she says, this may be the first time in history a cow has treed two boys. We climb down slowly. When I get to the bottom, Goal nudges me again. She wants her ear scratched to continue. I force myself to meet Lou's eyes. Moonlight glints on her silver hair like ice on snow. I'm sorry, I say, for being angry with you. It isn't your fault about the farm. Lou smiles. Come on, you two. I could use a hand. We head toward the barn. Goal follows. Kind yellow light spills from the house. Lou and Gonwar and I stand there in the silent barn, stroking Goal and waiting. After a while, I help Lou toss some fresh hay into Goal's stall. How'd you end up in my tree this evening? Lou finally asks. I don't want to say the truth, but when Lou looks right at you, you cannot make up stories. I'm running away, I say. I see. Lou thinks about this for a moment. Want a cookie before you go? I think too. A cookie would not be such a bad thing. Chocolate? I ask. Yeah. I follow Lou and Gonwar into the house. It might be a long time before I see chocolate again. Top of 221. This is changes. I take a handful of cookies to show my gratitude. Lou sits across from us at the kitchen table. The light spreads gentle shadows. So you're running away, Lou says. That's a mighty big job. I watch while Lou gets us glasses of milk. On top of the cold box, there is a picture in the frame. I see a pretty woman smiling. A man has his arm around her. He is tall and proud. Behind the woman is a small tree. Lou follows my gaze. That's me, she says, a very long time ago, and my husband Robert, and that tree is the one you two climbed just now. Top of 222. I stare at the picture, then back at Lou. If I try very hard and think once upon a time, I think maybe I can find that young woman in her face. I imagine a time when the barn didn't sag, and the cattle were many and strong, and hope grew fast, as flowers in good earth. I imagine Lou saying goodbye soon to this place. This has been her home for so long. To live in a world with no snow and no cows. Lou pulls down another picture. This is my sister, the one in LA, she says. She has a little yard. I suppose I could plant some vegetables there. You can grow things year round. She stares at the picture. Imagine that. I spot a tiny seed of something fine sprouting in Lou's eyes. My heart is glad to see it. I remember my aunt's words. Keck finds sun when the sky is dark. That was easy to do when I was a child, in my life before. It's not so easy when the clouds are low and black. I wonder if finding the sun is one way to be a man. I drink my milk. The clock ticks. Gonwar and Lou are watching me. I know it would be better to wait for Mamma here, I say at last. Lou and Gonwar nod. They don't say anything. I guess I could come back to work until you have to leave, I add. That would be great, Lou says. I know Goal would like that. She could use more attention, Gonwar says. That cow does love a good ear scratch, Lou agrees. She's good for petting, I say, and leaning on, Gonwar adds. She's a very unusual cow, Lou says. Another idea comes into my head like a new friend knocking at the door. Sometimes I very much like my brain, I say. What do you mean? Gonwar asks. I smile. I think maybe I just found some sun for Goal. So this is part 4, and the little proverb is when spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. All right, so this is page 227, herding. When Saturday comes, Lou is waiting for Gonwar and me and Hannah in the barn. She sips at her coffee mug. I just wish my trailer hitch hadn't rusted out, she says. We'll be fine, I tell her. Hannah is wearing her school backpack. I brought a map in case we get lost, she says, and some candy bars and water. It's a long way, Lou says in a worried voice. There's a lot of traffic. She shakes her head. I probably shouldn't be letting you do this. You probably don't have a choice, Gonwar says with a laugh. Maybe I should call ahead and explain things, Lou asks. Sometimes it's better just to walk up to the door and ask, I say. Lou grins. All right then, let's get this show on the road. She gives Goal a kiss. See you, girl. It's been a good ride. I take Goal's halter and off we go. The sun is a steady hand on our shoulders. We walk along the side of the busy road for many steps. So right now they're walking along the side of the road with the cow on a busy road. Me and Goal, then Hannah behind us, then Gonwar. When cars race by, they suck the air away. A huge truck grumbles past. Goal doesn't like the whoosh and roar. She stops hard and refuses to go on. I pull. She pulls back. She hates being so close to the traffic, I say. I pat Goal and talk to her, and after a while she agrees to move on. Good girl, I say, relieved. But up ahead I see trouble is waiting. Traffic jam. This is top of 230. We reach a crossing of two huge roads, many lights hang from wires, cars come and go like frantic ants. Don't worry, Ganwar says. I'll tell you when it's safe. He turns to Hannah. You sure this is the right way? Pretty sure, she answers. Ganwar watches the lights and steps into the road. A blue car zooms toward him, horn blaring. He leaps back. We wait a while longer, then Ganwar dives back into the traffic. Come on, he waves his hand, and hurry. We cross 3 lanes of cars and come to a thin strip of land covered with grass and tiny purple flowers. We've still got 3 more lanes, Ganwar says, but Gol has decided the purple flowers are a tasty treat, so they're like in the middle of a median right now, in the middle of a road. She grazes happily while I yank on her harness. Hannah pushes Gol's rump. Come on, girl, Ganwar cries. The light turns yellow. Hurry, Hannah yells. Gol glances up to see what all the noise is about. She chomps down one last bite and then she ambles out into the road. The light turns red. We are in the middle of a sea of cars, honking and shouting and hurting our ears. Gol looks at me, as if to say, why is everyone in such a hurry? I pull, Hannah and Ganwar push, and nobody moves. Gol has come to a stop, and so has all the traffic. So they're in the middle of the road right now, in front of all these cars, causing a traffic jam. So we're on 233. Cops. We are surrounded by cars, but no one is moving. It looks like the parking lot at the mall, only everyone is grouchy. If you don't get that cow off the road, she's going to be lunch meat, kid, a man screams. Look, Mommy, a little girl points out her window. Is this a parade? Heading slowly toward us, I see bright lights of red, white, and blue. Great, Ganwar mutters. Cops. The car with lights gets stuck in traffic too. A woman and a man in blue soldier clothes make their way through the knot of cars. They have guns on their hips. What's going on here, kids? The policewoman asks. My cow won't move, I explain. It's hard to take my eyes off her gun. Some reason your cow is in the middle of 6 lanes of traffic on a busy Saturday? The policeman asks. We're going to the zoo, Hannah says. Ganwar covers his eyes and groans. The police people can't decide whether to smile or frown. Their mouths are all mixed up. You taking her to see the animals or be one of the animals? The woman asks. Hannah clears her throat. She's going to be a new exhibit. Who's going to pay to see this bag of bones? The man asks. She's going to be in the petting zoo, I explain. She likes to have her ears scratched. Go on, try it. Not me. The policeman holds up his hands. I want to get close to one of those. I'll get a value meal with fries. The policewoman holds out her hand and reaches for Gol's ear. Gol leans into her. She likes me, the woman says. Horns blare. Nora, we gotta focus here, the policeman says. She might move now, I say. We'll push. Maybe you can pull. This is definitely not part of my job description, the man mutters. We get into position. 1, 2, 3. Ganwar cries. Move! Gol looks behind her. She's pouting a little. She can see she is surrounded. Slowly she inches forward. Bit by bit we cross the rest of the road. Cars begin to move again. Some people who drive by use words I haven't learned in ESL class yet. It's very dangerous for you kids to be doing this, the woman says when we reach the other side. Why isn't she in a trailer or something? Who owns this cow anyway? Lou gave me custard, I say proudly. The police just stare. Custody, I correct myself. I pull out the piece of paper Lou gave me. The man examines the paper. He sighs. Well, it's just a few more miles up the road. I suppose we could give you an escort. I don't know what this is, but I can tell that Hannah is excited. Would you keep your lights on? She asks. Lights, but no siren, the woman agrees. We begin our slow, strange herding down the edge of the highway, followed by the police car. The red, white, and blue lights remind me of the American flag. I feel like the president. If only Luau could be here, I say to Ganwar, and we laugh a good long laugh. This is the top of 239. This is zoo. The zoo workers are a little surprised to see one cow, 3 kids, and a police car show up at the ticket booth. They call their bosses and say come quick. The zoo bosses are even more surprised when I tell them Lou and I are donating gold to the petting zoo. Just try scratching her ear, I say. She loves it, adds the policewoman. The main zoo boss is tall and thin and has a shiny head like an apple at the grocery store. He reaches out for Gol's right ear. Gol makes her happy cow face. Her eyes are far away and full of peaceful thoughts. You are a charmer, aren't you, old girl? Says the man. The petting zoo needs a cow, Hannah points out. And she is free, Ganwar adds. The owner is donating her, even though she could sell and make a fine profit. Everyone looks at Ganwar. He shrugs. Figured it was worth a try, he says. This is a very kind offer, says another zoo boss man, but this isn't how we do things usually, kids. There are meetings and requisition forms and veterinary exams. Gull rests her head on the shoulder of the Applehead zoo boss. I can see that she is very tired from her adventure today. She's awfully affectionate, Harold, the man says, and they make a point. We are in need of a cow. I was hoping for one a little less geriatric, Harold replies. Gull blinks her long lashed eyes and Harold smiles. Oh, what the heck, he says, and once again I see that heck is a very good word. Why don't we send her over to the clinic and have her checked out? If she's clean and in decent health, well, she does kind of grow on you. Gonwar leans close to me. You amaze me, cousin. Hannah kisses Gull, and Gonwar pats her flank, and I stroke her neck and whisper in her ear, and then off she goes, to her new land, to begin again. The police drive us home in their car. They keep the lights on, and even play the siren once. What did you whisper to Gull? Hannah asks when we return to Luz. I grin. I told her if she can move, she can sing. So this is the epilogue. This is 15 months later. And the proverb says, a sandstorm passes, the stars remain. So this is Homecoming. We're on 245 now, almost done. The airplanes float in one by one, and each one is the wrong one, and we wait and wait and wait some more. Gonwar and his new girlfriend, and Dave and my aunt, sit on the plastic chairs and talk. Hannah stands beside me as we stare out the wall of glass. We know enough to be quiet. In the pocket of Hannah's jeans I see part of a white envelope covered in curly blue letters. I smile. Hannah carries it with her everywhere, and I know how that is. It's fall, and the trees are wearing red and orange coats to fight the icy nights. I think about the trees, the flowers, the brown grass in the fields. They can all be patient, certain that spring will return. They don't have to hope, they can be sure. Hope is a thing made only for people to scrap to hold on to in darkness and in light. But hope is hard work. When I was a child I hoped to fly. That was a silly, easy wish. Now my dreams are bigger, the hopes of a man, and they take much tending, like seedlings in rough sun. Now I hope to make my new life work, to root to this good, hard land forever. At last the time comes, and the door opens, and people pour out, but no one is the right one. The sun streams through the glass window, red and gold with the day's last sighs, so bright I have to shade my eyes. One more person comes out, slow and searching. I see other colors too, then blue and yellow, not the colors of the setting sun, but a flash of something torn from my past. A voice comes, a voice like laughing water on my thirsty heart. My son! And mamma embraces me, like we're saying goodbye instead of hello, and around her neck is a scarf made of the softest fabric of blue and yellow. I can't find words, there are no words, not in my old language, not in my new one. We walk together like one person, her arm tight around my shoulders, and the air is wild with talking and laughter and questions. So many questions, but I don't speak. We reach the silver escalator with its melting stairs. Mamma freezes. People grumble and step around her. I take a breath. I take a step. I hold out my hand. She watches me rise. She takes my hand, and at last the right words come. Mamma, I say, welcome home. So he ends up finding his mother. I'm going to just read the author's note because that's the only part that we haven't read. So we'll read that, and then that is it. Author's note: somewhere, sometime, as your glorious and complicated life unfolds, you are going to find yourself putting dishes in a washing machine. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. You don't make the same mistakes Keck makes in Home of the Brave, because your mistakes will be uniquely and wonderfully your own. But you will make them, I promise you, lots of them. Some day you will find yourself adrift in a place where you feel you don't belong, with people who don't understand who you are. You'll feel alone and lost, and you'll be absolutely certain that you will never, ever belong to the world again. You don't have to be a refugee to feel lost. It happens because we are human, and because life has a way of changing the rules when we're not looking. But if you're lucky, someone will reach out a hand when you're most alone and say, I've been lost too. Let me help you find your way home. Home. What a heartbreaking word that is when you don't have one. One of my homes was in Minneapolis. It's a graceful, lovely, welcoming place, but its winters are not for the faint of heart. While I was there, refugees from sub Saharan Africa were being settled in the city. Every time I stepped into that exquisite, dangerous Minnesota cold, it seemed unimaginable to me that people could move to such an impossibly different place, a place where the words are new, the food is new, and the culture is new, and the icicles are most definitely new. But the heart of Minneapolis is as warm as its winters are cold, and like so many towns and cities all over the US, it was full of people who found ways to say to those newcomers, "Welcome to our home. We're glad you're here." Watching that kindness unfold, I began to envision a book about Kek, a refugee from Sudan, and as he evolved I grew to love him, for his courage and his good humor and his essential optimism. I suspect become so accustomed to the America as melting pot narrative that we've begun to forget its great power. We conduct acrimonious debates on who gets to come here and who gets to stay. We've reduced a grand idea to quotas and legalisms. In the process, we forget about the real meaning of that grand statue in New York Harbor, Statue of Liberty. We forget what it means to lose your home to war, to lose your family, your very identity. Can you think of anything more terrifying and courageous than redefining yourself from scratch? Today, tomorrow, sooner or later, you will meet someone who is lost, just as you yourself have been lost, and as you will be lost again someday. And when that happens, it is your duty to say, "I've been lost too. Let me help you find your way home." Your duty, yes, but your honor too. And as you walk together, perhaps you can share a story or two. You'll be surprised at how different your tales are, but you will be even more surprised at how much they are the same. Fiction, it's been said, makes immigrants of us all, but it's just as true that fiction helps us find our place in the world. A good story, well told, is a compass in your pocket, a map to home, a light always glowing in a dark and mysterious harbor. So that is the end of Home of the Brave. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please get your weekly work done and reach out and let me know if you need any help. I'll be available over Zoom or email or whatever you need. And I hope you all had a great weekend. Bye.